In the quiet suburbs of Ohio, Sarah, a devoted nurse and mother, watched helplessly as her savings vanished and debt grew. She was a good person, responsible and hardworking, yet caught in a financial storm she never saw coming. Why do good people like Sarah end up facing financial ruin? This story is about understanding those hidden traps and finding hope beyond the crisis. Mark had always been the pillar of his family in Denver, Colorado. A diligent construction worker, he earned enough to support his wife and 2 children comfortably. But after a serious injury left him unable to work for months, the cracks in his financial stability began to show. Medical bills piled up, the mortgage became a looming mountain, and credit card debt spiraled out of control. Like many Americans, Mark faced the terrifying brink of bankruptcy without warning. According to a 2023 study by the Federal Reserve, nearly 60% of Americans would struggle to cover a $1,000 emergency expense, a stark reminder of how fragile many household finances truly are. Unexpected medical costs and sudden income loss are among the leading causes of financial collapse, especially for those without a solid safety net. Mark's story is far from unique, it echoes the experience of millions across the United States. He had always been responsible, avoiding unnecessary expenses, and working overtime whenever possible. Yet, life threw an unexpected curveball. When his injury forced him to stop working, the bills kept coming. The car loan, the monthly utility payments, and everyday expenses didn't wait. Slowly, he found himself dipping into savings, then relying on credit to get by. Stress and anxiety mounted, affecting not just his finances but his family's emotional well-being. This financial crisis opened Mark's eyes to the importance of recognizing early warning signs. Many people ignore small signs like missing payments or relying on credit cards to cover essentials, but these can snowball quickly. Financial experts emphasize the need to face these problems head-on rather than burying them in shame or denial. In Mark's case, reaching out to a nonprofit credit counseling agency was the turning point. With professional help, he consolidated his debts, negotiated lower interest rates, and created a realistic budget focused on essentials. More importantly, he prioritized communication with his family, building a support system to endure the hardships together. Mark's journey highlights a critical lesson for everyone: financial crises often begin with seemingly small issues that escalate rapidly if ignored. Being proactive, seeking help early, and understanding the underlying causes can prevent disaster. In a country where nearly 40% of households have less than $400 in liquid savings, learning to identify these red flags is not just wise, it can save lives and livelihoods. This chapter serves as a wake-up call to recognize when financial trouble is looming and to take practical steps before it becomes overwhelming. Mark's story is a testament to resilience and the power of informed action, showing that even on the brink of collapse, recovery is possible. Emily was once the proud owner of a small cafe in Austin, Texas. Her business was thriving, and her future looked bright. But when the pandemic hit, her revenue plummeted overnight. With fixed costs like rent and utilities still looming, Emily quickly found herself drowning in debt. Like millions of Americans, she had little savings to fall back on, and the pressure mounted relentlessly. According to the American Bankruptcy Institute, small business failures account for nearly 40% of personal bankruptcies in the United States. The stress of mounting bills, unpaid loans, and lost income led Emily to a breaking point, forcing her to confront a harsh reality: she might have to let go of everything she built. But what causes so many people like Emily to face financial ruin despite hard work and good intentions? Experts point to a few major culprits. First, lack of emergency savings leaves individuals vulnerable to unexpected shocks like job loss or health crises. Second, excessive reliance on credit cards with high interest rates creates a debt trap that's difficult to escape. Third, insufficient financial literacy means many people don't fully understand budgeting, debt management, or investment basics. The National Endowment for Financial Education reports that nearly 2/3 of Americans can't pass a basic financial literacy test. This widespread gap plays a huge role in why so many good people struggle financially. Despite these challenges, Emily's story shows that recovery is possible. After hitting rock bottom, she sought help from a financial advisor who introduced her to debt restructuring and a detailed budget plan. She also applied for small business grants designed to support recovery post-pandemic. Gradually, Emily began to rebuild, not just her cafe, but also her financial confidence. Her experience underscores the importance of recognizing common pitfalls and using available resources to climb out of debt. This chapter reveals the real causes behind many financial crises in the U.S. and offers hope through practical solutions. By learning from stories like Emily's and understanding expert advice, readers can avoid similar fates. It's a reminder that hard work alone isn't always enough. Knowledge and strategy matter just as much in protecting financial health. Jason, a 35-year-old software engineer living in Seattle, had always prided himself on being financially responsible. He managed to avoid debt in his 20s by living frugally and saving diligently. But when his company underwent restructuring, Jason was laid off unexpectedly. Without a steady income, his financial stability quickly deteriorated. Like many others, he realized that simply avoiding debt wasn't enough. He needed to understand the deeper mechanics of money management to truly recover. According to a 2022 survey by the FINRA Investor Education Foundation, over 60% of Americans lack basic financial literacy, which often leads to poor decision-making and vulnerability in times of crisis. Jason's story is one of awakening to the power of education. Initially overwhelmed by the growing bills and dwindling savings, he decided to invest time in learning about personal finance. He attended workshops, read books, and used online resources to grasp budgeting, debt prioritization, and investment basics. This education became his lifeline. With newfound knowledge, Jason developed a personalized financial plan that balanced cutting unnecessary expenses with strategically paying down high-interest debts. More importantly, Jason embraced the mindset shift from simply surviving financially to actively building a secure future. He began small by automating savings and exploring low-risk investment options tailored to his situation. Over time, this disciplined approach allowed him not only to regain financial stability but also to build a cushion against future shocks. The Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection highlights that individuals with higher financial literacy are 30% more likely to have emergency savings and better credit scores, proving that education directly impacts financial resilience. Jason's journey demonstrates that education is not just about knowledge, it's about empowerment and transforming financial behavior. This chapter encourages readers to see education as a fundamental tool to avoid common pitfalls and gain control over their money. By investing in learning, anyone can break free from the cycle of poor decisions and pave the way toward long-term financial security. Understanding money isn't reserved for experts, it's a skill everyone can and should master. Lena, a single mother living in Atlanta, Georgia, knew firsthand how hard it was to stretch every dollar. Working 2 jobs, she barely made ends meet, yet she was determined to provide a better future for her teenage son. When her hours were cut unexpectedly, the financial pressure intensified, pushing her dangerously close to insolvency. But instead of giving up, Lena started exploring ways to increase her income and build financial security. Her story reflects the growing number of Americans turning to side hustles and smart investments as a lifeline. According to a 2024 survey by Bankruptcy, nearly 45% of U.S. adults have at least one side income source, showing a shift toward diversified earnings. Lena began by offering tutoring sessions in math and science, leveraging her college degree. She also learned about dividend-paying stocks and conservative index funds, carefully investing small amounts she could afford. These efforts not only supplemented her income but gradually built a financial buffer. With discipline, she paid down debts faster and avoided new loans. The National Bureau of Economic Research found that households engaging in multiple income streams are 25% less likely to experience financial distress during economic downturns. Her journey wasn't easy, balancing work, family, and learning new financial skills tested her resilience. Yet, Lena's story demonstrates that strategic income diversification and investing are practical ways to escape the cycle of poverty and debt. It underscores the importance of financial agility, being able to adapt income sources and make money work smarter, not just harder. This chapter aims to inspire readers to explore realistic ways to boost earnings and invest wisely, turning financial survival into growth and stability. David, a retired schoolteacher in Minneapolis, Minnesota, had spent decades working hard and living modestly. Yet, when he looked at his savings and investments after retirement, he realized how fragile his financial situation truly was. Many retirees face this awakening, finding that fixed incomes and rising expenses can quickly erode their security. According to the U.S. Government Accountability Office, nearly 40% of working-age households have no retirement savings at all, highlighting a widespread lack of preparation for financial longevity. David knew that building a sustainable financial future required more than just saving, it demanded smart planning and ongoing management. He worked with a financial planner to create a diversified portfolio focused on steady income and growth, balancing risk with his comfort level. Additionally, David adjusted his spending habits, cutting unnecessary costs and focusing on essential needs. He also ensured an emergency fund was in place to handle unexpected expenses without jeopardizing his retirement. His story reflects a crucial lesson: financial security isn't static but a continuous process. Building and maintaining wealth means adapting to life's changes, monitoring investments, and making informed decisions regularly. Experts agree that ongoing financial management and education are vital to staying secure in uncertain times. David's experience illustrates that with patience, knowledge, and discipline, anyone can create a lasting safety net. This chapter encourages readers to think long-term, emphasizing sustainable habits over quick fixes. It's a reminder that financial health is a lifelong journey that requires attention and adaptability. By adopting this mindset, readers can avoid the pitfalls that cause many to fall into hardship later in life and enjoy peace of mind in their golden years. Maria, a 42-year-old teacher from Chicago, had always dreamed of financial independence. After years of struggling with debt and tight budgets, she finally managed to stabilize her finances. But she knew that true security meant more than just surviving; it required building a resilient foundation for the future. Maria began to focus on sustainable money habits, consistent saving, wise investing, and living within her means. She also prioritized building an emergency fund and maintaining insurance coverage to protect her family from unexpected shocks. Maria's journey illustrates the essence of long-term financial health. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, households that maintain emergency funds and invest regularly are far less likely to experience financial crises. She diversified her income, automated savings, and continually educated herself on money management, gradually transforming her financial life from fragile to strong. By setting clear goals and staying disciplined, Maria created a buffer that allowed her to weather economic ups and downs without fear. This final chapter underscores the importance of a holistic approach to finances, balancing earning, saving, investing, and protecting. It encourages readers to adopt sustainable habits that evolve with life stages, ensuring financial resilience through changing circumstances. Maria's story is a hopeful reminder that anyone, regardless of past mistakes, can build a secure and prosperous future with the right mindset and strategies. Financial stability isn't a destination but an ongoing journey, one worth taking for peace of mind and freedom.